Poor girl accidentally faints. A cunning woman takes the opportunity to inform the rich man. Annie sees the man she's always wanted. She thinks she's dreaming. Jack saw that she was alright, so he gets up to leave. But Annie made her feelings known to him again.
보고 싶었어요.
And Jack stopped hiding his feelings. He told Annie, she's the first girl who's ever touched his heart. Jack, who saw the family patron saint, understood that the curse was not a rumor. For the safety of his beloved, Jack's heartless rejection of Annie's advances. Poor Annie was crying her heart out. Hearing the cries, Jack's pain was the same as Annie's. Annie recalls the good memory she had with Jack. She decided to go crazy with love. She took the syringe off her hand and rushed out. At that moment, Jack leaves and runs into Ichabod. He coldly warns Jack not to see her again. They pass each other by, but suddenly they hear Annie's voice. Mike turned his head in surprise. Annie rushed up and hugged Jack, not expecting Jack to reject him again. At this moment, Mike's heart was bleeding, unaware that they had both fallen into a woman's trap, since Jack promised not to see her daughter again. He used to come and stand outside Anna's house. Each time, he would just stare at her room in silence. Then he would leave in silence. When Anna's mother found out, a plot was being hatched in her mind. At this time, Annie was working to numb herself. She was overworked and had a high fever. Her grandmother told her to go to the hospital, but Annie is stubborn and says she'll be fine on her medication. Early that morning, Anna's mother arrives at the shop. She asked Annie how she would handle Mike's feelings for her. Annie said that nothing would happen that would bother her. After all, her mother was satisfied with her answer. She said that Jack used to come and watch Anna from outside the door. Annie was very upset when she heard this. She apologized to the woman, but the woman said, "I pity him for having met an unfulfilled love." Annie could only smile. She said she would cook for her. As soon as she entered the kitchen, she suddenly collapsed. The woman heard the noise and ran into the kitchen. She immediately took Annie to the hospital. Looking at the unconscious Annie, the woman realized that her chance had finally come, so she picked up the phone and called Jack. Meanwhile, Jack's father finds out why his ex-wife died was related to his mother-in-law. 30 years ago, his mother-in-law asked the driver to take the car to his holiday home. When the driver returns, only to find a woman on the ground, his mother-in-law was in a state of panic. Jack's dad was furious when he heard this. His ex-wife's death was caused by his mother-in-law. On the other hand, Jack returns home. Jack returns home to vent his anger over the curse. The patron saint's house is vandalized. His father, seeing him as a coward, he punched him hard in the face, calling him a worthless